Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Anthony with themovieblog.com, and I'm back here with another video. This time we're going to be revisiting the world of Moon Knight, and we're going to talk about the return of Midnight Man. Now, we covered the origin of Midnight Man in a previous video and established that he's a notorious thief named Anton Mogart. I'll put a link in the description to that video so you can go watch that, get caught up, and then come back here, because in this video, we'll be talking about the rematch between Midnight Man and Moon Knight. Now, like I said in the last video, we found that Mark Spector has really gotten into a rhythm living as Moon Knight and his three other personalities. He's seen in this comic continuing his growth in his roles. What's notable in this issue is that there's a criminal known as Bushman. Now, you might remember Bushman from the origin of Moon Knight. Mark Spector was working as a soldier of fortune for Bushman in his first appearance, but later turned on his former boss when they attacked non-combatant villagers. Moon Knight is deeply triggered by the news that Bushman had escaped prison, and he goes on an all-out search for clues on the location and whereabouts of Bushman. Moon Knight investigates by breaking up a high roller's illegal gambling casino. Mark figures that someone in these circles will have clues into the location of Bushman. Unknown to Mark, while he's out as Moon Knight looking for clues, something fishy is going on back at the home of Stephen Grant, one of his aliases. Marlene, his girlfriend, is shown sleeping in her room, but is awoken by a mysterious figure standing in her doorway. As she screams in terror, the person that was standing there is next seen dashing through the hallway, bulldozing past Mark's partner, Frenchie. After this happened, Marlene calls Moon Knight to tell him what's happening in the house, and they also discovered that their butler was kidnapped during the break-in. Moon Knight at this point had already finished breaking up the illegal gambling casino and is further chasing down clues in his Jack Lockley persona. When he hears the news, he has to make a decision as to whether he's going to go home and check on his friends or if he's going to continue looking into the whereabouts of Bushman. He decides to continue his search, figuring that his friends will be able to hold down the fort while he continues his investigation. Marlene and Frenchie deduce that the man that broke into the home couldn't have been Bushman. He was too small. And Marlene has an aha moment and runs off. At the same time, Moon Knight is seen entering a large cavern with platforms elevated in the sky, each one enshrined with a pile of junk. It's at this point Mark gets attacked from behind, and the being that attacks him is none other than Midnight Man, seeking revenge for that prior defeat. After getting the upper hand on Moon Knight, Midnight Man starts to monologue and explains what happened to him after their last encounter. After being shot in the back by Marlene and falling into a nearby river, Midnight Man drifted in the river, unable to fight the currents in his weakened state. He was shot. He was eventually carried to a nearby shore and was able to survive, but unfortunately, he drifted into a sewer drain, and the sewage drain was filled with who knows what. The liquid actually burned the face of Anton until he was completely disfigured. Mogart not only reveals his face to Moon Knight after telling his story, but he also reveals that he stole the statue of Khonshu from the home of Stephen Grant during his break-in. The sight of Khonshu shocks Mark. He's totally catatonic at this point, and then Midnight Man further adds insult to injury by knocking over the statue from one of those high platforms, and we see the statue shatter before Mark's eyes. Midnight Man seizes the opportunity and shoots at Mark to try to finish things off, but Mark's reflexes kick in and he leaps across the platforms to safety. Mark continues this momentum and leaps to attack Midnight Man after he runs out of bullets while shooting. Moon Knight is able to power through Midnight Man's defenses and mount an attack. While tussling with Midnight Man, a voice off panel speaks to Moon Knight, taunting him. And we see that the voice belongs to none other than Bushman, who is holding Stephen Grant's unconscious butler. Bushman then ignites some preset explosives and water from an adjacent cavern begins to flood into the room. The comic ends on a cliffhanger. And so am I. Check back for our final video on Midnight Man coming soon. And as usual, if you want to see more and if you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe. Otherwise, I'm going to check you guys later. That's all I have for this one. Peace.